Alright, there we go. We are live. Better be. Let me go onto YouTube real quick and check just to make sure. Yep, we're live. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. A little late, but better late than never. 8:22 Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, we had the original live stream up, and then I tried to start 3 other live streams after that. And for whatever reason, again, the issue I've even stated to you guys at the start of a stream, whenever we start late, it's because, I was running a little bit behind anyway, and I was getting some extra practice laps in just to make sure I had the right setup that I wanted, because I was running a little late as it was to the stream. And then when I went to start the stream, it ended before I started it. So then I tried to restart the stream like 3 or 4 times on a completely different stream, just completely like copy and pasted everything in as far as like re-editing the official start time to the stream and everything else in the description. And looks like we're good to go now. So we got it to work, yes, but I seriously need to figure out why this keeps happening, because I've lost count how many times it is. It's about once or twice a week over the last month and a half that this keeps happening, and I don't know why. I'm about to leave a bad review on Elgato's game capture software. Leave a bad review on it, because that's insane. We were supposed to start this thing 25 minutes ago, and we're just now getting started. Worst thing is I did a later start time because it's a shorter race, but I didn't want it to be this late because I still got to work tomorrow morning. But, oh well, we'll get this all in. I'm sure of it, and we should have a pretty fun day here today. Darren Dill, R6R6, welcome to the stream. We had 10 likes, and we had, 7 people waiting in the last chat, so I appreciate the support, and thanks for sticking around if you have already. Hopefully you guys can just tune back in. I'm sure you were looking forward to tonight's Xfinity Series race at Martinsville. Gonna hop right into qualifying. With Dale Jr. here, we already know 2 of the 4 drivers that will be racing for a championship next week at Phoenix. It will be Dale Jr. and Harrison Burton Jr. won at Kansas. Burton coming off a win 2 nights ago at Texas. So 1 lap in qualifying for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Where will he qualify for tonight's race? And it turns 3 and 4. A lot better in 3 and 4 than what he was in 1 and 2. Not that he ran 1 and 2 really badly. 20.382, 7th fastest in qualifying for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Bailey Good, Diamond Jeff, welcome to the stream. Noah Gregson will be on the pole for tonight's race. Harrison Burton has qualified 2nd, followed by Michael Annett, Austin Cindric, Brandon Jones will be the top 5 again. Junior 7th rather. And all 5 Junior Motorsports Chevrolets qualify in the top 8. That is insane. And one of them on the pole, so it looks like they're going to have some good all-around speed here tonight. That is for certain. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. All right. So here we go. Already mentioned that. We'll take a look at the point standings before we really get in depth here. Sorry I didn't go with the normal intro that I usually do, but I had to restart the stream 4 times just to get it running, and I kind of forgot what I was going to say, to be completely honest. I was getting a little flustered there off the air, but we're good to go now. So as mentioned, Dale Jr. and Harrison Burton already locked in with wins into the championship 4. Here are the 6 drivers going for the final 2 positions here tonight. Starting things off with the number 3 seed, Austin Cindric. Cindric is 30 points above the playoff cutoff line coming into the race, and Michael Annett is currently the 4th and final driver above the cutoff line. As far as points go, he is 22 points above. First driver below, 22 points behind, of course, is Chase Briscoe. 27 points behind the cutoff line is pole sitter Noah Gregson, so look out for him tonight to possibly score a lot of points and maybe even get the win, because again, if a win happens, there's only 8 points separating third and fourth in points right now of Cindric and Annette, so we could have a pretty good points battle there if any of these four drivers below the cutoff line win. Justin Allgaier qualified in 6th. He'll be 38 points below the cutoff line starting tonight's race, but maybe he'll be fast as well. And Ross Chastain, after a pretty solid comeback performance in the last race, but a DNF at Kansas leaves him 44 points below the fourth and final place spot to get into the championship four coming into the night. We'll keep an eye on everybody throughout the course of this race. 250 laps around this racetrack here, a half-mile racetrack nonetheless. What track did I go to this year? I went to 3. I went to Bristol for the All-Star race, Talladega for the playoff race, and I also went to the Southern 500 at Darlington, the throwback race, first race of the playoffs. So if that's what you meant by this year, meaning last year, then yes. It looks like Junior is going to be starting 6th. We have one driver going to the rear of the field for the start of today's race as well. All right, we'll get this thing started now. 9 people waiting. Once again, you don't have to wait any longer, as you came to the right place here on a Wednesday night short track racing on NASCAR Heat 5. Harrison Burton will be starting at the rear, coming off that win again 2 nights ago at Texas. Josh Bilicki will also be starting at the back. Vinnie Miller doesn't look like he'll be very fast for today's race. And we'll see. Gregson starting on the pole, trying to get the win and put himself in the championship 4. Can he do it as he leads the field to the green? We're underway at Martinsville, 70 laps in stage 1. Oh! Big move to the inside. Ross Chastain not wanting to waste any time as he shuffled the 8 of Hemrick out of the groove into the other 8 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. And now Jr. quickly to the inside of Chastain himself. We saw how much the tires and the track position played a factor in the truck race last night. What will be the factor here in this race tonight at Martinsville for the Xfinity Series? Right now, Junior's still trying to make a pass on Chastain. He'll clear him off of 4, right back to where he started in 6th. Brandon Brown off to a pretty solid start as well. I just realized I put my laptop in a terrible spot as well. That and I wasn't centered up with the camera either, so I just did that right now too while I was at it. My bad on that one. Anthony Handley, welcome to the stream. Brandon Brown looks really fast in that 68 car. He was able to get around Hemrick. Ross Chastain starting to fade back as well as he passed him, and now he's been all over the back bumper of the 8 of Junior. Junior looks to have the straightaway speed. Center of the corner is where he seems to be lacking right now. Sure, lap traffic's going to pay a factor here in this race, as it usually tends to do at Martinsville. We saw how much it paid a factor in last night's race. Matt Crafton was able to get the win. We only led 10 laps within the entire race of the 200. And it definitely came down to the wires. He took the lead coming to 3 to go. But he was there when it counted the most. Battled hard in the lap traffic. And put himself in that position late. He ran top 3 to 5 most of the night, so it's not like he didn't have a fast truck. He just wasn't leading any laps, really. Yeah, I was about to say that too. Eric Estep's live streaming right now. I don't know what he's doing. I think it was just a hangout session. I got the notification right before I went live. So he must have went live like right at 8 o'clock. Well, we were supposed to, but we were having technical difficulties, so. At first it was going to be my bad for being about 5 minutes late, but then we were like 25 minutes late because the stream kept logging out. Finally, a sane president, welcome to the stream. I'm not necessarily telling you guys to do this. Well, okay, I'm telling you guys to do this, but jokingly. I'm not saying to actually do it. But we need to all go to Eric Eastep's chat and tell him if he wants to watch racing tonight to come to this channel. No, I'm kidding. It's where the real racing's at. In the off season, at least. The real virtual racing. The realistic commentary. '21 championship. I don't really have a pick, but I have to say Chase Elliott's going to be a strong favorite for mine. I think Elliott and Harvick are probably going to be the two guys to look out for next year. For my early season predictions. I wouldn't be surprised if Harvick won another 7 or 8 races, and honestly, with all the road courses on the schedule, I wouldn't be surprised if Elliott won about 7 or 8 races as well. I'm 21 years old. Turned 21 back in August. It doesn't feel like it's that long ago already. Insane. Definitely feels like with the year 2020, that time moved by kind of slow. Now into 2021, but at the same time too, you look back on like moments you had throughout the course of time or the course of the year, and you realize, man, it was that long ago already. It doesn't even feel like I've been out of high school for 3 years, to be completely honest. Like, there's times I, like, wake up in the morning, like, on my day off or something, and just, like, have that, like, strange feeling that, like, I just got out of school a couple months ago or something. It's just really insane how much time has passed by. Battle for 6th right now, Ryan Sieg, Dale Earnhardt Jr., heavy lap traffic right in front of the leaders. Gregson has fallen back to 5th, and Austin Cindric now leads this race. Just 15 laps in. Big loose moment by the 39. I don't know if he got in the back of Gregson or not. Gregson got really loose as well, going to the outside of Landon Castle. Contact on the inside now with Dale Jr. and Landon Castle. Gregson able to file his way back to the inside lane in front of Jr. Oh, man. Junior coming in hot. He'll take over the 5th spot from his teammate Gregson, but he had to rough up the lap car. Almost said lap truck. We're not in the truck race anymore. The lap car of Joe Graf Jr. Ross Chastain now looking to make a move. To the inside. He stuffs it in there, and he moves Junior out of the way for 5th himself. Chastain is a man on a mission tonight. Needs to win. Likely, he's 44 points behind the cutoff line. 8th of the 8 drivers remaining in the standings fighting for a championship. Gregson in a similar boat. 27 points back coming into the night. And Gregson moves Junior out of the way now as well. Junior kind of wheel hopped it into turn 1 anyway, but Gregson definitely put the bumper to his left rear. Oh, man. Junior sending it to get by Mike Harmon as quick as he can, trying to keep up with these guys. He's lost a couple spots since the start of the race. 50 laps to go in stage number 1. 20 laps complete in this race, caution-free up to this point. I'll tell you what, I think there's a very good potential for there to be a lot of first-time winners next year. I think a lot of drivers that will be in the playoffs for the Cup Series next season are going to be solely off of wins. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 13 or 14 different winners in the regular season and only 2 or 3 drivers actually clinched playoff spots on points, which we haven't seen in a while with this 16-man playoff format. Look at the fact, Matt Benedetto's got another year with the Wood Brothers. Maybe he can get his first career win. Obviously, Austin Cindric won't really account for wins in the Cup Series points. But you never know what races he's running. If he runs a road course, maybe he can contend there. But you look at, like, Chase Briscoe, you know, you never know if he can get a win. Tyler Reddick, maybe he gets his first win of the year or of his career. Same goes for Christopher Bell with, like, Dirt Bristol or something. I mean, there's a very good chance. Bubba Wallace with 23-11. Although I've already kind of stated I think he'll make the playoffs, but I don't think he'll win a race this year. But I think he'll run competitively and have very good shots to win races throughout the course of the season. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you're looking at like a lot of different guys. I mean, that playoff field next year is going to be stacked from top to bottom, I believe. And that's not even counting if we get an upset winner at Daytona or Talladega next season, too. I mean, you could throw like a Stenhouse in the mix or something like that there also. So you best be on your A game from the start of the season to the end to try and get that win to get in, because there's not going to be too many leftover spots. So caution's out for the first time today, right at lap 24 in today's race. Michael Annette's the race leader. He'll lead the field to the green alongside teammate Justin Allgaier. Noah Gragson back up to third place. He'll restart right behind him with Ryan Sieg. Cindric back to fifth. 3 wide to the inside goes Dale Jr. on the restart. Underneath Jones and Cindric, he gets by both of them. What a nice clean pass. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the front of the field for Junior Motorsports. Junior outbreaks Ryan Sieg. A little contact with his teammate Justin Allgaier as well, as they battle hard now for third. Track position playing a factor already. Junior tried to take a major advantage, and he goes from 7th to 3rd in the first 2 laps of the restart. Biggest surprise winner next year? I don't know. I'd probably say Tyler Reddick or Matt DiBenedetto. Both drivers, DiBenedetto's probably been closer more often with a little bit worse luck, and Reddick, with only being a rookie, obviously shown some good speed at certain points last year. I think he'll be more consistent next season, which can help him get that first career win and get into the playoffs as well. So I'd probably lean towards one of those two as being a shock or surprise winner next season. But I think you look at, like, if we end up getting 14 different winners, and you look at guys like, for instance, last year or in recent years that haven't really won a lot of races and haven't run, like, as consistent, like Eric Almirola, who's had, you know, flashes of running brilliantly throughout the course of the season. Like, even last year he had that top 5 streak for about 5 or 6 races in a row, and I think he had a top 10 streak near 9 or 10 races too at one point in the middle of the summer. But I mean, if he can't win a race and we get that many, you know, new winners next season, like I just mentioned with all those young guys, maybe Custer wins again, who knows? I mean, you look at guys like that, I mean, you can see Almirola possibly missing the playoffs. Or Kurt Busch. Even though Kurt Busch ran really consistent last year, I think he had like the 6th or 7th best average finish last season, but maybe Alex Bowman, William Byron, you know, a driver like that. Only 1 win on the season. I think Bowman will be alright, honestly. Like, guys like Bowman and Blaney, I think they'll be alright because they typically run pretty consistent throughout the course of the year. Even if they didn't get a win, they'd probably be those 1 or 2 drivers that probably make it without a win into the playoffs if they don't get any. Ryan Sieg tried the bump and run on Dale Jr. for 3rd a couple laps ago, but he couldn't quite move him out of the way. He definitely got him loose. He's got to be careful, though. Daniel Hemrick is looking to the inside of Sieg off of turn 2. Is he going to try to outbreak him into 3 and stay to the inside? Nope, Sieg kind of chops him off just a little bit. You're seeing a little bit of rear tire smoke, much like he did yesterday in the truck race, as the tires continue to get older and older. Whoa. Thanks, R6, man. I appreciate it. Guys are coming in hot in the comment section tonight. I'm trying to keep up, but as mentioned before, it's a lot harder on these short tracks and road courses to do that. Even if I am using the controller, not the steering wheel. That's the reason why I use the controller on tracks like this, typically. A lot easier for me to read the chat on top of trying to keep the realistic broadcast. 30 laps to go, stage 1 already. 40 laps complete here tonight. Only 1 caution so far. We had 4 cautions in the truck race, for instance, last night. But it took us a long time before we even got the first one. It was late in stage 2 when we saw the first caution, but already 1 early in stage 1 here tonight. Now Alex LeBay's kind of holding up Junior, and that's going to allow Daniel Hemrick to make a move. And Hemrick is up to 3rd. Junior maybe going to try to outbreak him into turn 3 to the inside. He does try to. Bounces off the curb. Oh, man, trying to keep it off of him. He did a good job not making contact with his teammate. But Hemrick's going to hold on to the position. Predict Ty Dillon's going to get a win this. Where's he running? Is he in? I don't even know if he's in a full-time Cup ride. Not that I can remember hearing of, honestly. Unless he runs like a part-time deal with something. I don't know. I don't know what Ty Dillon's situation's looking like right now as far as racing in 2021 goes. Oh boy, Junior hit the curb on corner exit, and that really shot him loose. Sieg trying to get around him on the outside now. Lap car on the bottom of Joe Nemechek. Now he slides up right back in front of Sieg again. So Junior going to be able to hold off Sieg for the moment, hang on to 4th. And he's lost quite a bit of sight here from Hemrick even. He's already about 1.5 seconds ahead of him. Gregson and Annette continue to battle for the lead. Annette barely above the cutoff line. Well, by barely, I mean he's the last driver in on points, but he's 22 to the good. Had a good opportunity to win at the end of that Texas race yesterday, but couldn't get it done. Well, he was running the 13 car before for Germain Racing, but Germain Racing shut down at the end of 2020, so they won't be back next year. Don't forget about Trackhouse, too. I mean, I don't think they're going to be that fast, at least out of the gate in year 1. You know, I don't expect them to really be that fast for the first couple years. We'll have to wait and see when we actually see the cars on the track. But I guess, you know, Suarez, as far as, you know, points go, maybe look out for him. Who knows? I mean, he didn't make the playoffs in SHR or Joe Gibbs Racing Equipment in a 3-year stretch. So I'd like to say that Justin Marks' team probably won't be the best cut out for him as far as trying to be postseason bound, at least in the first couple years. You know, maybe they can grow into something someday, but I don't see that initially, at least. I think Bristol's a little dizzier than Martinsville. Bristol is a little, or I should say Martinsville's a little bit shorter than Bristol in length. Well, I think Martinsville's a .526, Bristol's a .533, I think. I think that's right. But it's a lot fast. Bristol's a lot faster. I mean, it takes about 18 to 20 seconds to get around Martinsville in a Cup car. Cup car at Bristol takes 14 to 16 seconds to get around. I mean, that alone just tells you how much faster it is. It's a high-banked racetrack. shorter straightaways too. Feels like you're turning all the way around the track, I'm sure. I don't know. Toyota's, I think a lot of the usual suspects you saw at the front last year are going to be the same for this year. With the lack of practice coming up this season outside of the new racetracks on the schedule, I think that's going to lead to a lot of the same, especially on the 550 horsepower tracks. I think the short tracks you might see a little bit different drivers maybe running up front if they nailed the setup. But as far as the intermediate tracks, I think Denny Hamlin and Harvick are going to be those guys to beat on the 550 tracks again this year. Especially like Pocono, Michigan, your standard mile and a half, Kansas, Texas, Homestead. I think those are going to be the two guys that are going to be one of the tougher ones to beat week in and week out. Because they're basically going to be running whatever they were running that kept them way ahead of the field last year, plus the strategy itself throughout some of those races to keep track position. They're going to be doing the same thing again this year. And unless we get into those like wild races like we saw in the first Texas race where it was just a caution fest at the end of the second stage all the way to the end of the third stage, to maybe jockey the running order because of pit strategy and stuff like that. I mean, that's the only way I really see them getting beat on a consistent basis on the intermediates next year. Oh, Junior almost turned himself off the front bumper of Joe Graff Jr. Junior definitely cut down right on top of him. And meanwhile, Noah Gragson, Michael Annett are side by side for the lead with 12 to go in stage 1. Hemrick and Junior are closing in a hurry. Side by side, about 2 to 3 rows deep, right in front of the leaders. Junior will pass Hemrick now for third. 11 to go in stage 1. What lane will Junior go with? Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Jonathan Everly, welcome to the stream. Michael Annett trying to go 3 wide to the outside. I don't know if that's going to work for him. Junior trying to go high seam. Annett's got a little bit of success with it. Wow, Annett got really loose there. Junior starts a little loose too. Annett might have just found his way back to the bottom as Junior ran right into the back of Jeffrey Earnhardt. 3 wide with Gregson all the way on the inside of him as well. Not going anywhere. 4 wide for the lead. Look at Gregson on the bottom. Junior squeezes to the outside of Annett. The race is on for the stage 1 win. Junior to the inside of Gregson for the lead off of turn 4. Gregson checks up behind Williams in the 92. 3 wide to the inside goes Junior underneath Burton and Williams. Burton, remember, started at the rear. I'm sure he struggled with traffic so far today. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the first time in stage 1 is going to take the lead. Can he drive away or at least hang on? 7 to go in stage 1. Junior timed it perfect, much like Crafton did with the truck race last night in the final stage. I can see Kyle Busch winning 2 or 3 races, but I honestly don't see him winning more than that next season. Again, the lack of practice, I think, is going to hurt him and really Toyota as a whole outside of maybe Denny Hamlin, just because Hamlin already had success from last year. Junior's got about a 1.5 seconds to a 2-second lead on his teammate Annett. Annett, Gregson, those guys are... Cindric too, all trying to scratch and claw for every point they can get here in stage 1. Doing pretty good. Jonathan, thanks for asking. I think Truex has... I don't know, though. You can really see how much not having Cole Pearn last year really affected him and that team. Like, they had good speed, especially from the end of the regular season and the very beginning of the playoffs. They had good speed because they were finishing top 3, but they couldn't actually get that track position at the end of the race, especially on those intermediates where the track position is key with this package. As long as you can survive the crazy restarts, that is. He only had one win last year. That'd be insane if Denny Hamlin wins 3 straight 500s. That'd be 4 Daytona 500s in a 6-year stretch if he did that. That's ludicrous. Especially in this day and age of the super speedway racing and just NASCAR in general. Those are video game stats. Gregson still trying to run down Junior. Half a lap to go now in stage 1 as he was able to get around and net that last lap. But it's going to be too little too late for those guys. Still a couple lap cars in between them and the leader. Dale Jr. will win stage 1, kind of stealing it, leading only the final 8 laps of the stage. Using the lap traffic to his advantage. And we're going to be seeing pit stops now under the stage break. First pit stops of the night. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. Very minor damage. Oh, we got 15 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in here today. Tonight, rather. About to start stage 2. Sage Castillo, welcome to the stream. About to start stage 2 here tonight at Martinsville. Dale Jr. wins stage 1, but only led the final 8 laps. Pretty interesting start. See how this goes. Green flag in the air, and here we go. Dale Jr. trying to beat his teammate Michael Annette into the corner. Contact on corner exit. Here comes Gregson, 3 wide for the lead. Down the back into turn 3. And Gregson moves the 8 car up the track. Gregson will take the lead for himself early in stage 2. As they still ping-pong off one another. Austin Cindric trying to get the second himself. Cindric comes into the day 3rd in points. He's up to 2nd place, as high as he's been running in the race since leading the opening couple laps. Junior gets, well, he's trying to get back around and that couldn't clear him there. A little bit more contact. And that slides in front of Junior to hang on to 3rd. 3 wide behind him, Anthony Alfredo is up to 5th place. What a move by him to get by both Ryan Sieg and I believe Justin Haley. Yes, Justin Haley as well. Yeah, I was honestly kind of joking, but I mean, hey, if you guys want to do that and help me out any way you possibly can, by all means, I guess I'm in for it, one way or another. I appreciate it, but I guess if you were gonna rate anybody's stream, at least you're kind of going into somebody that's successful, you know, already as it is with a lot of viewers. I don't do that myself, just putting it out there. It's probably another reason why I don't have that many subs, but I don't feel the need to try to raid other people's streams. As far as promoting my own product, like I'll watch other streams, but I usually don't comment. Very rarely you'll see me in a comment section of another stream. Still got 15 people watching. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in here tonight. Noah Gragson pulling away early in stage 2, at least until we get to the lap traffic. Then we'll see what happens there. Junior was able to get through the best in stage 1. That's how he won the stage, leading only 8 laps. He quickly lost the lead on the restart here. Michael Annette does look really fast, though. Him and Gragson, probably the 2 fastest cars here tonight. And Annette's been trying to get around Cindric for a couple laps now, and he just can't quite do it. He's probably going to use the bumper before long, I'd have to imagine. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that people aren't going to watch if you. Went out there and told people to watch my content. Not at all, no. I'd encourage you guys to at least, like, if you know somebody, for instance, that watches NASCAR, I mean, tell them, hey, there's this young YouTuber that's trying to get into broadcasting through NASCAR, and he does streams every day. Obviously, going into a NASCAR, fan base as it is, generally people will take consideration of that. Josh Williams will get the free pass under the caution in 20th place right now. Gragson in the lead still. It's going to set Junior up to restart on the outside. Not sure how this is going to work. Only our second caution for incident so far. No, you're fine. R6, you are perfectly fine. Here comes another restart. Oh, Alfredo puts the boot to Junior. That kind of shot him up into Cindric, too. That allowed Michael Annette to get to the inside of Cindric. Junior sends it into the corner. 3 wide. I don't even know how he got to the bottom in front of Alfredo. But he did. Junior's trying not to let Cindric back in line. Clint Boyer needs to be fired before he even starts his first day on the job. Oh, Junior up the curbing, around he goes. I think we're going to get a caution. Track is blocked. Still no caution. Now the caution waves. Junior lost a ton of track position there. He hit the curb, spun, but he did save it. Hit the curb, spun. Well, it was kind of a half spin. He didn't completely 180 the car, but he kept it off the inside wall. He did get a little contact from behind there initially with Anthony Alfredo, who also got stacked up in it, losing a bunch of positions. As Gragson holds on to the lead, that is a tough break for Dale Jr. Junior's going to repair that 1 second of damage here at the rear of the field. Not going to pit for tires, though. Going to try to save the amount of tires we have here. So Junior's going to have to come from mid-pack now. All that track position's lost after a simple bounce off the curb, enough to turn this race car right around. 46 to go in stage 2. Oh, big stack up on the restart on the inside. Alfredo, he's got pile drive from behind. Brandon Jones is right behind him. Junior still sandwiched in the middle lane. Briscoe has not had a good night so far. Still sitting back there. Oh, 4 wide into turn 1. At Martinsville. They made it. Very minimal contact, too, despite being 4 wide at Martinsville. Junior and Jones just kind of squeaked by on the bottom lanes, getting by both Chase Briscoe and Austin Hill there. Junior still trying to get to the bottom. And I think he will in front of Jones. Jones got really loose getting back to the gas. Very bad rear wheel spin for him. Junior is back to the bottom as he gets around Riley Herbst in turns 3 and 4. Trying to get around Matt Mills in 1 and 2 now. At least try to follow Anthony Alfredo back through the pack. Junior to the inside of Alfredo. That was one thing, too. There was no contact that spun Junior out. He just hit the curb a little bit too much with the left side tires. That's enough to lose control on this game, on this racetrack. Really any track with curving, honestly. I've seen it on the road course numerous times. I mean, that's how we saw Blaney DNF in the Charlotte Roval race a couple weeks ago here on NASCAR Heat 5 was that very instance. Kind of leans on the 68 car, sends it into turn 3. Shout out to Tommy Joe Martins. What a playoffs he has had. He just fell back to 11th. He was in the top 10 there. Martins has had good runs all playoffs long. Barely missed the round of 8 on points, and not by much. Just a couple points after the Roval, after a top 5 performance there. If it wasn't for him DNFing in the playoff opener at Bristol, I think he'd have a very good chance, or probably would have at least advanced to the round of 8. And remember, at Kansas, he ran in the top 10 as well. All day long and ended up finishing there. And out here today, right around 10th. That's pretty cool, lass. Greg Moore, very talented open wheel driver. Very young, too. For his tragic passing. Wasn't that in 2000? I know it was in the early 2000s. I think it was in the year 2000, but I could be wrong on that. $710 subs now. Nice. Thank you, whoever just subbed during the course of the stream. We're at 709 coming in. We actually had a lot throughout the day. I think I was at 705 when I woke up this morning, and then all of a sudden, like, I got home from work. I'm like, oh, we're at 709 now. Cool. And now we're at 710. 99, gotcha. I knew it was somewhere around there. I knew it was a long time ago. Man, over 20 years. 22 years this year. Justin Allgaier, Ross Chastain battling for position for 7th right now. 33 laps to go at stage 2. Gregson continues to lead. Can he maybe get a win here tonight and jump from 27 points behind the cutoff line, 6 of the points, to getting into that championship 4 with a victory? Remember, his win in the playoff opener at Bristol was what got him into the round of 8 to begin with. That was his first win of the year. He didn't have a single win all season up until that point. So he came in with a lack of playoff points. He earned 5 more that night. He's won a couple stages in the first 5 playoff races as well on top of that. So, I mean, Noah Gragson has just flat out had a stellar postseason. Tim Lambert, welcome to the stream. I did not know he passed away on Halloween. I didn't even think IndyCar raced that late in the year. I know they don't anymore, but at least I don't. No, yeah, their season ends before then now. Like middle of October, I think. Obviously, it was a while ago, so the schedule's obviously way different now versus what it was back then. They had way more ovals back then, too, than what they do now. A lot of bigger ovals. They went to Michigan, the Auto Club. They still race at Texas. They had a lot of mile and a halves, too. Back in the 90s, they raced at Charlotte, Chicagoland. Obviously, they raced at Vegas until Dan Weldon's accident. Well, they didn't race there consistently at Vegas, at least, but they raced there on and off. They had a lot more ovals on the schedule than what they do now. I mean, they just raced at Pocono, and I mean, you can kind of consider that an oval until last season. Milwaukee. It's another track they used to race at. They need more ovals than IndyCar. Coming from a NASCAR fan, but still. Because what, like next year, I know next year's schedule, that was like the huge like thing, is they had too many road courses. I guess, I don't know how many races are on their schedule from start to finish, but I think they only had like 3 oval racetracks on their original schedule. I think they picked one date up at Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it wasn't Iowa. Maybe it was Milwaukee. I don't know. It was something. I thought they picked one up, or there was rumors of them picking up another oval. Need to go to Richmond. That'd be pretty cool. Huge line of lap traffic again. Race leader isn't caught up in this, but there's a lot of the top 5 that is. And that has allowed Junior to get back in the top 10. Remember, Junior restarted mid-pack, and he's back up to 6th place. Michael Annett, Justin Haley battling for position. Junior to 4th. Gregson just pulling away from these guys. They're 3 wide for 2nd place now as Junior gets to the inside of Haley and Annett for position. Oh, Junior sent it a little too deep. Ran right up in front of the lap car and made contact too. Junior using the lap car of Joe Nemechek as a pick as he'll get right back by Haley again for 2nd. Austin Cindric to 3rd, following Dale Jr. through that gap. Only 21 laps to go here in stage 2. Each of the first 2 stages, 70 laps each. That means the final stage only going to be 110. Not very long by Martinsville standards. 20 to go in stage 2 right now. Junior's about 6 to 6.5 seconds behind his teammate Gregson. Oh, man. Junior kept it off of Landon Castle that time. Hit the curb, still had a pretty good drive off, trying to pull away from Cindric, but I think a lot of that was Cindric catching Castle in the middle of the corner versus Junior caught him on corner entry. Junior still losing time to Gregson. He's 7.5 back, and there's about 6 or 7 lap cars right in front of Dale Jr. again. Junior got really loose off of turn 2 there. Second's fine for the end of the stage for Junior. He's already locked into the championship 4, but he still wants to win here tonight. Came really close at Texas last night. Right front barely held on to the finish of the race as it was because he was on his last set of tires there. He's still got 3 sets left in tonight's race. Used one of those sets at the end of the stage, I know that for sure. Junior's just protecting that bottom. He ran a really low line down the back straightaway. He's just trying to make sure that Cindric doesn't get on by him. Knowing Gregson's in the lead, though, Cindric, he did score a lot of stage points. I think, if I remember correctly, he finished 4th in stage 1. But if Gregson wins, he's going to have to make sure that Annett doesn't outscore him by 8 or more points. Wide under the lap cars goes Junior. Junior's been taking it 3 wide to the bottom a lot, but I guess it's not just him. There's been a lot of drivers trying to use the lap traffic or the restarts to make those 3 wide passes on the inside. We even saw 4 wide already with Jones, Junior, Briscoe, and Austin Hill on that last restart as well. So it has definitely been insane much throughout the course of the race. Junior's almost a half a lap behind Gregson. That is insane. Gonna have to let him go now unless we get a caution that changes everything. Now, there is a lot of lap traffic right in front of Gregson, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to actually hold him up 9.5 seconds in the final 12 laps of the stage. I mean, that would just flat out be insane if that happened. Junior try to run hard and consistent. You never know. He might actually have a shot to sweep the stages today at Martinsville despite not leading more than 10 laps all day long. But if Crafton can win the race leading only 10 laps yesterday, I guess Junior's got a possibility to do the same today. He's only led 8 green flag laps up to this point. He also led 4 laps under the stage break as well. So he's led 12 laps total in tonight's race. Breaking Benjamin's pretty good. I don't listen to them as much as I used to, but I still go back, listen to that stuff from time to time, though. When I'm feeling my new metal phase, I'll like rotate between bands like Breaking Benjamin, Disturbed, Linkin Park. That's kind of like the stuff I originally grew up on. Between that or listening to local classic rock stations, because that's what my dad had on the radio when we were going somewhere, so I grew up on that too. I listen to a little bit heavier stuff now, but I mean, it's still nice to listen to, though, from time to time. Blast from the past, for sure. I definitely get that nostalgia feel. But it's listening to that which led me to listening to the music I do now, so I definitely appreciate my my parents, both my parents, really great taste in music. 5 laps to go in stage 2, and don't look now, Junior's only 4 seconds behind Gregson. I didn't think it was possible that he could catch him. I still don't know if it's possible, but he has really trimmed that lead down by quite a bit. Brandon Jones currently is up to 3rd all of a sudden as well. Where did he come from? He was back with Junior on that last restart. We mentioned that they went 4 wide. Justin Haley in 4th, Cindric back to 5th. Michael Annett isn't even in the top 5 anymore. He's trying to hang on for every stage point he can get. Three laps to go in stage 2. I'm likely going to pause it and take a short break at the end of stage 2 just to simply go back and actually tally up all the stage points from stage 1 and stage 2 combined, just to make sure I have everything mathematically prepared by the time we go into the final stage, so we know the exact scenarios of where drivers need to finish ahead of other drivers to make it on into the playoffs, especially if we get a new winner, which it's very possible because Gregson, again, looks fast and needs a win likely to make it into the championship 4. Unless he can outscore Michael Annett or Austin Cindric by 27 to 35 points, but I don't see that happening because both Cindric and Annett have had stellar nights up to this point. Wow, Junior really loose off turn 2. Blue Cookie, welcome to the stream. Well, Noah Gregson wins stage 2. Green, white, checkered flag in the air for the second time today. Gregson will win the stage, followed by Dale Jr., Brandon Jones, Justin Haley, Austin Cindric, the top 5. Then Annette in 6, followed by followed by Daniel Hemrick. Then Riley Herbst, Justin Allgaier, and Ross Chastain. Chastain, Allgaier, must win situation for both of those drivers. We know that for a fact. Same goes for Chase Briscoe. Into this final stage, unless we somehow get a DNF that shakes the running order even more. So let's see. Gregson gets 10. Cindric gets 6. Annette gets 5 this stage. So I'm going to need some silence here for my brain to be able to calculate these points in my head here. Might have to get the calculator out. Might have to. So Noah Gregson that stage obviously gained points on Annette. He gained 5 right there. Now I got to go back at the end of stage 1 and see how much he gained on him and Cindric. If I can find it. Again, this is what happens when NASCAR Heat 5 glitches and we have to do the points ourselves to make sure they're accurate. We shouldn't have to do this. Alright, so Gregson beat Annette by 1-6. So Noah Gregson coming into the final stage is 21 points below the cutoff line on Michael Annette. But I think the main thing we're looking at here is Annette and Cindric. Where are they at compared to everybody else on points? I gotta turn the chat off for a second because the chat keeps popping up like right in front of the finishing order. I'm going to go full screen at least. Alright, so the situation here. Going into the final stage, listen closely. Chase Briscoe, Justin Allgaier, and Ross Chastain are in must-win situations. As far as the points go, mathematically Gregson still has a pretty reasonable shot. Gregson's 21 points below the cutoff line. He's obviously going to need help. He is 21 points below Michael Annette. So Michael Annette is 21 points above the cutoff line there. But then also, Austin Cindric is in the boat right around both of those guys right now, as Austin Cindric would be 26 points above the cutoff line. So if Noah Gregson wins tonight, or not even Gregson, if Noah Gregson, Justin Allgaier, Ross Chastain, or Briscoe win, any one of those 4 drivers win and advance to the championship 4, we're only going to have 1 driver on points. And with Michael Annette and Austin Cindric only being 5 points within each other going into the final stage, that is going to be something to look out for to the finish of today's race. I had to make sure I was going to pit there. Almost didn't pit. Justin Haley with a quick stop will win the race off of pit road. That was pretty amazing. Green flag back in the air for Justin Haley as he leads the field to the green. Junior thought about taking it 3 wide to the inside. He didn't get the run, kind of hit the curbing. He'll hang on to 3rd though. How fast is Haley's car? Junior drives it in really deep into 3 and 4, back underneath his teammate Gregson. Sorry. Forgot to pull the chat back up on my laptop right there. That kind of messed my turn 3 entry up. I hit pause in the wrong spot. I should have waited a half a lap. Here's Keegan's in turn. I'm not paying you a dime. I didn't know I was paying anybody. That's funny, huh? Get good. Riley Hurst has shown some speed today. He's going to move Junior out of the way, and Riley Hurst is up to 3rd. Look at him blocking Junior now as Junior tries to cross him back over. Oh, and Junior hits him back. He hits him back, and that's going to allow Michael Annette now to get to 3rd. And that's like, all right, you guys are going to fool around with one another. I'm going to take over the spot for myself and try to run down the leaders for myself. Junior outbreaks Annette, though, going into turns 3 and 4. Can't quite get the power down to stay to his inside. Annette needs to finish 5 points ahead of Austin Cindric. Annette has the tiebreaker for the best finish of the round over Cindric, as long as Cindric finishes outside the top 3, which obviously, again, would give the tiebreaker to Annette anyway, because he finished 3rd in the last race. Sorry, he finished 4th in the last race, but he has to beat Cindric by 5 points anyway. So this is big. Cindric's in 6th right now. He's more than capable of losing a couple spots before the end of the race. So if Annette finishes 3rd, for instance, that means Austin Cindric would have to finish 8th or worse if Gregson wins. Or Chastain. Chastain's up to 5th again. Allgaier, he's back there as well in 8th. And Briscoe's in 10th. So all 4 of the drivers below the cutoff line are in the top 10 right now with a shot at winning this thing still. It is going to get down to the nitty-gritty. We are less than 100 laps to go tonight at Martinsville. Gregson's been looking for the lead on Haley since the restart, but he hasn't been able to get around him. Credit to Haley and his pit crew as he tries to get his first win of the night. First win of the season, rather, here tonight. And Michael Annette has closed the gap right now. Gregson better make a move quick. Lap traffic's coming up as well in the next couple laps. But Michael Annette has closed the gap on Gregson and Haley. And I'm sure Junior, Chastain, and company will do the same once we get into the lap traffic. 16 people have hit the like button so far tonight as well. Thanks for everybody doing that. So we've had 3 cautions so far tonight for incident coming into the final stage. Everybody pitted at the stage break. Junior has 2 sets of tires left in the finish, but again, it is likely going to be a track position race anyway. I guess it's going to depend on how many drivers are on the lead lap to decide on whether or not you pit to the end, how many laps are left as well. We had a long green flag run to the end of the truck race yesterday. 58 laps is a long green flag run to the finish. Haley's still holding on to the lead. A lot of these guys just trying to train to the inside right now to get around the lap traffic. Once they go double wide in front of them, they're going to have to start picking if it's going to be the outside or the inside lane that's going to take off. I'd be alright with you doing a logo if I can't figure out an idea for myself. I wasn't going to plan on changing it for the moment. By soon, I mean I want to change it before the start of the NASCAR season, or at least before a 1-year anniversary mark, which would be the weekend after the Daytona 500 this year. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, or about the timeline of when I'm planning on changing it. I'll have to play around with some stuff online, see what I can find, what I might like. Junior just got it in the back of Gregson. Getting into turn 3. Didn't really phase him much. And the Junior Motorsport cars are 3 wide into turn 1. for second. Look at Gregson. I thought he was going to go up the middle looking for the lead. He couldn't get it. Big run by Junior now to the inside. Junior goes for the lead into turn 3 under Haley. Junior didn't lead a single lap in stage 2. He did win stage 1, leading only 12 laps in the race up to this point, and Junior will lead another. Second time he has been in front tonight. But Haley is right on his back bumper and looking for the lead, followed by Gregson. Then it's Annette Cindric back into the top 5 and 5th. Yeah, gotcha, for sure. I will definitely let you know. I saw your email in the chat, so I'll definitely have to email you if I'm struggling with ideas or something of that nature. If I can't figure anything out in the next couple weeks. Junior's gotten into the lead. He's gotten through the lap traffic a lot better as well. This is the Junior we really saw back in stage 1, where he was just the king of getting through the lap traffic, and it helped him out by the end of the stage. Will that be the case here in this one? And you also got to wonder, will Justin Haley think about using the bumper? Austin Cindric is up to 3rd, by the way. He got around both Gregson and Annette for position. Junior kind of missed the braking zone into turn 1. Ran that higher line on corner entry. It definitely helped him with the speed on corner exit, but Haley almost got underneath him. Junior going to try the outside anyway to try and get around Chad Fincham and David Starr. Junior to the bottom, in front of Fincham, underneath Starr, getting around both lap cars in 3 and 4. And now Haley is stuck as they are side by side right in front of Haley. Starr and Fincham, that is, as Junior drives away in front of all of them. So that's going to buy Dale Jr. a little bit of time. We're also going to have to keep an eye on that tire wear. Looks to be very loose on the longer runs. And remember, this final stage is 110 laps. We only had 70 laps in the first 2 stages when these guys tried to go the full length on tires. So we're going to have 40-lap older tires at the finish if we don't get a caution as well. No, I don't. I wouldn't go necessarily with the idea of a big head smiling in a race car. A little bit heavier lap traffic in front of Junior now. Boy, Harrison Burton struggled today. It's a good thing he got that win at Texas 2 nights ago. He knew he didn't have to worry about Martinsville because of it. It's a good thing because he's been outside the top 20 multiple laps down all day. Yeah, I really, I've had, thoughts of doing it, but I haven't really, put many thoughts into consideration yet. A lot of it, I've been doing a lot of stuff, whether it's been, editing those videos I have, or just simply when I was, in the middle of looking for another job, outside of the one I already have right now. I'm not going to work 2 jobs, but again, I'm starting at the Home Depot distribution, so I was in the process of doing that the last few weeks as well. So luckily I got into there, and again, I start there next week, so I'll be getting a little bit more sleep every night. It'll be rewarding. Won't have to worry about waking up at 4:30, well, just before 4:30 in the morning. It'll be a little bit closer drive, and I don't have to be there until 6 now, so that'll be cool. Still get the Sundays off. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday will be my scheduled work days. I don't have to work more than 2 days in a row, so even if I am up late, like on a Tuesday night because of work, I'll have to work the next day and not like 4 consecutive days where it's going to wear on me by the end of the week like it does. So that'll be nice too. Ethan, welcome to the stream. Yeah, for sure. And I'll talk to them more in depth about it on my orientation next Monday that I have to go in for. But I've talked to them a little bit about it now. And I've talked to my friend who helped me get into that job because he's been working there for a year. And they're like, yeah, just mention that, I have, plans with, this channel of, well, not just the channel, but, even for my own well-being as well, going to different races next year that I already have tickets for. And I just need, a day off. And I literally have a calendar, ready. Like, if I have to print, like, a calendar or at least, like, a list of dates that I'm going to be gone for so they have it, that's perfect. Like, I'm more than willing to pick up a Thursday shift because I'm scheduled off Thursdays if it means I'm going to have that Saturday off so I can leave to go to wherever I need to go racetrack-wise during the summer. Plus, I'm still working on trying to hopefully get a broadcasting job for locally next year. So if I end up having to work part-time instead of full-time at Home Depot in the summer to do that as well, they have a pretty flexible schedule according to my friend, as long as you give them a few weeks notice. So I'm like, that's awesome. That's what I need. And it's more pay. It's like $3 more an hour than what I'm making now. And like I mentioned, a little bit closer drive by about 15, 20 minutes. So it was like a no-brainer. I was like, if I can get in there, I'm taking the job. I'm excited for it. As excited for a warehouse-like job I think I've ever been, simply because of my situation over the last year. Basically, since I started this channel. About the time things started like getting hectic with work hours on my last place. You guys know, I've mentioned many times before, that's why we were streaming at like 8, 9 o'clock at nights there for a while when we were busy in the summertime. That was a pain, and then I have to go back to work the next morning. I had to be there by 5 a.m. It was so bad. On top of a 40 to 45 minute drive. It was like one thing after another, and it wasn't bad until I got like 2 to 3 months into it. And it just kept like piling on. It was just never ending, and I just, I was like, oh, it's too much. So, said bye, and then I've been working at a temp service for about a month and not really liking this place, but I should have went to Home Depot right away, honestly. But you learn from your mistakes, and I'm definitely learning from mine. Oh, man. Getting right into the back of Austin Hill pretty hard there. He continues to try and pull away. We have just over 60 laps to go here today at Martinsville. Look at that lead. 13 seconds over Austin Cindric, who has just jumped up to second. Mad scramble for third between Riley Herbst, Michael Annett. Haley's falling back to fifth. Junior's just getting sandwiched with these lap cars now. Trying to get back to the inside, and he does. It's like Alfredo and Brandon Brown about ran into one another. Seed got in the back of Alfredo. That spun his rear tires there. Off the exit of 4. Oh, this is big. If Michael Annett and Briscoe go a lap down here. Oh, Junior got a little loose. Contact with Briscoe as they were 3 wide. Both drivers going to go a lap down. Both in a must-win situation as well. Indeed, Ethan. Again, good thing Harrison Burton's already got the win tonight. Or coming into the night. Junior's got a 15-second lead. This is by far his biggest lead. This is the most laps he's led consecutively tonight as well. Again, he only led 12 laps up until he took the lead with 89 to go during this run. And now he's led for almost 30 laps. Briscoe's trying to get back on the lead lap as well. Junior's car is getting pretty loose here on this longer run as well, though. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. And Burton's back to 25th. He just keeps slipping back. Ross Chastain's going to be in danger of going a lap down here before long as well. Now Annette has to beat Cindric by 5 spots if we get a new winner. Or miraculously, Noah Gragson can beat Annette by 21 positions. Heavy lap traffic. I think Cindric has just finally gotten through it, or at least he's close. Yeah, he hasn't gotten through it yet, but he's really close. He's about that third car in the inside lane, and now we get a caution. That changes everything. Free pass to Briscoe with 57 laps to go. Caution is out. That changes absolutely everything. It looked like Junior was going to put even more drivers a lap down. That just basically saved Noah Gragson, Ross Chastain's season. Gragson fell all the way back to 8th. Junior's going to give up the lead for fresh tires here. Track position means a lot. But we still have 57 to go, and he was getting pretty loose up to that point in the run. He's got 2 sets of tires left. He's going to use one of them right now. And we should have about 53 to 54 to go. Cindric will lead the field to the green on the restart. That sounds painful, Darren. Green flag back in the air. 54 to go here at Martinsville. Junior's got the fresher tires. Track positions probably meant more between the truck and Xfinity race. 4 wide into turn 1 by Junior to pass 3 cars. And he goes from 9th to 5th on the restart. I thought he sent it in there 3 wide. They were actually 4 wide. And again, Brandon Jones was in the mix of those guys going 4 wide. Riley Herbst is up to 2nd place meanwhile. He got a good run off of turn 2 as he looks to the inside of Burton, Daniel Hemrick. They're still side by side off of turn 4. Chris George, welcome to the stream. And Junior is clearing up to 4th. Cindric leads as he tries to get his 3rd win of the season. Annette going for 2nd underneath Herbst. And he's got him and clears him down the front straightaway. Junior sends it into 1 and 2. He'll get underneath Herbst as well now. Oh, contact as he force clears him off of turn 2 for 3rd. Leave it open. You got to take the lanes at this point in the race. Those two have gone back and forth with contact throughout the course of the day, by the way. Mainly in stage 1 between the 18 and the 8. But you saw it again there. Junior didn't forget. NASCAR lover 4321, welcome to the stream, and we got a battle for the lead. Annette to the inside of Cindric as they're side by side. All clear. Annette has cleared Cindric. Junior to the inside of Cindric now for 2nd. He's got it. I'll talk about those other guys in a must-win situation. Be a good momentum bonus for Michael in that if he can win tonight's race. And obviously, if he wins, that's going to keep anybody from below the cutoff line from winning. It's slowly pulling away with that clean air advantage, but he's going to lose it in a couple laps in the lap traffic again. So we had 57 laps to go and the caution came out. So 54 lap green flag run to the end if we don't get another yellow. We had 4 cautions in the truck race last night. We've had 4 so far tonight in this Xfinity race. Last caution of last night's race came with 58 to go. So very similar situation between the truck and the Xfinity race here today. 44 laps to go currently. For those of you just tuning in, 18 people watching. Thanks for everybody tuning in here tonight. Final race of the round of 8. Annette trying to get a win here tonight as well at Martinsville. Came in final driver above the cutoff line, still is as we run. Actually, I guess technically he'd be third points-wise, but only by 1 point over Cindric, because it's 5 points in between first and second. But obviously a win would grant you a spot anyway, so that is what Annette is looking for. He doesn't have to win. He just needs to finish 5 points, 5 positions, I should say, above Cindric in this final stage if we get any one of those 4 drivers below the cutoff line to win. Allgaier's a lap down right now, but the other 3 are in the top 10 and on the lead lap. Chase Briscoe, Ross Chastain, and Gregson all in a must-win situation as well. Gregson looked strong. He won Stage 2, but he really fell behind at the beginning of Stage 3 once he lost the lead to Haley on the restart. He just couldn't get it back. Junior ended up getting around both him and Haley for the lead with about 89 to go, but now as you see, Junior's in second with 40 laps left, and that's got about a 2-second lead. That has come and gone throughout the course of the day for pretty much anybody who's led. Thanks, NASCAR lover. Greatly appreciate it. It's been a fun race tonight. 3 straight nights of fun racing here on Heat 5. Xfinity Series at Texas was good. Truck race last night at Martinsville was really good, and here tonight, the Xfinity race at Martinsville also good. That's just setting up for a wild one on Saturday night at Martinsville for the Cup Series. NASCAR Thunder 04 coming back to the channel tomorrow. I just got my new controllers for my PS2 today. I'll have to test it just to make sure they work. I think it's going to take some getting used to, because I did try to test it a little bit when I got home, and it was actually kind of difficult. It felt like it was when I first started playing it again. What I'm thinking was it was gradually wanting to turn to the right, so that's probably why my car was tight quite a bit. I don't think it was that the car was tight with the setups I had. I think it was more the analog stick was wanting to go to the right automatically. But it was more drastic when I was in practice a couple days ago. Before the stream, we had to postpone it because I was like, my car wants to turn against the wall. Like, it was that bad. Like, I was hitting the wall on straightaways. Like, I'd let go of the analog stick and not try to fight it as much through the tri-oval, and it would want to turn, like, a hard 90 into the wall. Like, it's like, yeah, I think it's the analog stick. It was doing it down the back straightaway, too. Center of the corner, if I was not braking enough, it just would make a hard 90 into the wall. It wasn't like it would drift up there. It would, like, just turn right. It'd be like going into the corner right now, just like turn right now. Indeed. Said it best there, NASCAR lovers. Support the NASCAR YouTube community one step at a time, no matter how big or small. Michael Annett still leads by about 2 seconds. This lap traffic right in front of Junior is holding him up. Briscoe's the first car lap down in 10th right now, so he definitely didn't get through traffic after getting the free pass before the last caution. Junior just kind of ran into Jeff Green there, a little contact with him. Still 31 to go. There is time. Not a lot of it, though, and Cindric is starting to pull these guys back in as he's all of a sudden only a second behind Junior again. Brandon Jones, Daniel Hemrick battling for 4th. About 3 seconds back of where Junior's running on the track in 2nd. That's got heavy lap traffic right around him now. Side-by-side lap traffic right in front of him. That's perhaps an opportunity for Junior to pounce. Junior only a second off the lead at the line. Less than 30 laps to go. Looking low for the lead, and that makes contact with Martins, and that allowed Junior to get to the inside and take the lead off of turn 4. Dale Jr. back out in front here at Martinsville. Annett just got a little sideways, overcooked the corner into 3, washed up into the lap car of Tommy Joe Martins. Junior takes the lead. Annett's now 3 wide to try and get around those lap cars behind him, and he is right on the back bumper of Junior again off of turn 4. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles now with 27 laps to go. And Junior's just got to hit his marks. And Annett moves him out of the way. A little bump and run. Junior trying to cross him back over, but he hits the curbing and Michael Annett's going to hang on. Great battle for the lead late here at Martinsville. 25 laps to go. Trading paint even between teammates. Can you tell we're late in the season and desperation has kicked in for Annett? Wants to put himself in position if we get a caution. Seen guys move just as quickly backwards as they've moved forward on the restarts tonight. To the inside though, Junior trying to trap Annett behind the 47 of Joe Nemechek, and he does. A perfect move by Dale Jr. He'll take the lead back off of turn 4. Using the lap traffic as a pick. Look at how far back Noah Gragson is. 3 wide there for a moment with the lap traffic in front of Junior. But Gregson's in the mix. Must-win situation as he currently sits in 9th in this race here today. Shane Pinckney, welcome to the stream. Three wide, hugging the curbing. Annett is all over the back of Junior. He's just going to try to follow him on through here at this point. Junior just trying to hug the bottom of the track. Annett just followed him right through there. Well, no, not anymore. He was, but then Anthony Alfredo kind of pulled down in front of Annett. And that's going to give Dale Jr. a little bit more breathing room. Big slide there off of turn 4. He's trying to hang on to it still. 20 laps to go here at Martinsville. Annett going to try the outside to get around Anthony Alfredo. It's going to work. I don't think he's going to try the outside to get around Junior. He's probably going to file in line as soon as he can, so he can hopefully make a move on the inside here in the coming laps. Oh, Junior really loose off of turn 2. Alfredo's the driver on the outside, though, luckily. So was Annett, I guess. They might have been 3 wide there. I didn't think they were at first. At that point in the run where those tires are getting old, for Junior has struggled the most. Slipping and sliding, trying to hang on. Cindric, 3.5 seconds back in 3rd place. And Annette, for the life of him, just still cannot get around Anthony Alfredo. He might have to put the bumper to him here before long, as now CJ McLaughlin is on the outside right in front of Annette. Annette has to get to the inside. He'll try the outside to get around the 93 again. That curbing is not helping Dale Jr. out. That is not his best friend right now. Saw a close finish last night in the truck race, and I think we're setting up for the same here tonight in the Xfinity race. If Annette can just get by Anthony Alfredo, that would be huge. But he's just not able to do it. Be a 54-lap green flag run to the finish if we don't get another caution. 2 lap cars now between the top 2. And they're side by side, it looks like, or just about. Oh, and that's still trying the outside. He might actually get around Alfredo now if he uses Landon Castle as a pick properly on the inside. And it looks like he will do it. So with 13 to go, Annette has finally gotten around Alfredo, as well as Landon Castle back there, and he has his eyes set on Dale Jr. for the lead, with heavy lap traffic coming in the next couple laps. There's about a dozen cars, double file. Maybe about a 1.5 seconds ahead of Junior right now. That's got a little damage to the front of his car, but it's Martinsville. Who doesn't have damage? Oh, off the curbing goes Junior. And that closes the gap a little bit more. Lap car kind of got in his way. He had to go high again. Oh, this is it. 10 laps to go this time by. Junior's got fresher tires, but it doesn't matter anymore. They're evened out. He's got about 30 to 40 lap fresher tires, but at the same time, whether it's 50 or 80 laps, and we get a caution. Spin for Joe Nemechek in turn 3. With 10 laps to go, caution's out for the 5th time tonight. And that is going to set up a 6-lap shootout to the finish. And that just gave Noah Gregson the free pass. Though unfortunately for him, he's going to have to come from the rear of the field. Chastain in 8th, don't count him out of it. We are setting up for a wild finish here in this one. Don't turn away now. And green flag is back in the air. Junior has been off and on the restart so far tonight. 6 to go. No mistakes. Well, he kind of hit the curbing there. Michael and Annette staying toe-to-toe. Still side by side as they roll into turn 3. Junior's clear. He outbreaks Annette. Annette trying to get to the bottom and hold off Cindric. 5 laps to go at Martinsville. Junior can't make a mistake. Chastain's struggling. He's still stuck on the outside a little further back. He's in a must-win situation. The only driver in position to possibly get a win. Junior goes a little wide. Unintentionally. Got a decent drive off of turn 4, though. 4 to go. He's got to be careful, though. If Annette was closer, he definitely would have gotten under him. And you wonder if Annette's going to use the bumper. He tried to already once. And Junior gave him the bumper right back to get around him earlier. Crucial spot in the race, obviously, in the closing laps. He might do it again. Junior is just so loose on corner exit, he can't get back to the gas as soon as he wants. That's why he's trying to take it easy on corner entry so he doesn't really wheel hop it. Great drive off by Junior. Cindric now for second place. As Cindric gets to the inside of Michael Annett. As they battle for second, that's what Junior wants to see out of his rear view. 2 laps to go. Cindric still battling back there. Now he's clear off of turn 2. Cindric to second. Jones to the inside of Annett for third. As Annett's just kind of trapped on the outside now. Can Cindric close the gap? White flag, 1 lap to go for Dale Jr. Cindric will likely use the bumper if he gets a chance. He closes a little bit in 1 and 2. Junior kind of beat him back to the gas. He didn't slide the tires as much on corner exit. 1 corner to go. Cindric, he can't do it. Jones gets to his inside. That's going to help Junior. Off of 4. Dale Jr. wins at Martinsville. Jones to second, followed by Cindric, rounding out the top 3. Junior steals the win late, much like Crafton did last night in the truck race. Though he had to hold on with a late race caution as well, nailed the restart and was able to block for his life. The battling for second place going on behind him definitely helped him, especially on those last lap. Including the actual last lap when Jones got to the inside of Cindric into 3. That did not give Cindric a chance to even put the bumper to Junior at that point. And Junior gets yet another win this season. And just 1 race to go on the year. Just 1 race to go on the season for the Xfinity Series. Junior is burning it down. That's enough of that. Having a little fun in the victory celebration was Dale Earnhardt Jr. after his win here tonight in the Xfinity Series race at Martinsville. Winner twice in this round of the playoffs and a winner 3 times in the first 6 playoff races is Dale Earnhardt Jr. Brandon Jones finishes second. Junior also won stage 1, by the way. Austin Cindric finishes in third, followed by Daniel Hemrick and Michael Annett, the top 5. Justin Haley 6th. Ross Chastain 7th. Riley Herbst 8th. Noah Gragson 9th. Ryan Sieg rounds out the top 10. 9 drivers finished on the lead lap today. Gragson won stage 2. He was just not there in stage 3. I don't even think he led a lap in the final stage, despite looking as strong as he did through the first 2 stages. And unfortunately for him, that will be the end of his championship hopes. So the 4 drivers going to the championship 4. 2 drivers off wins, 2 drivers on points. Junior with a win at Kansas and Martinsville. Harrison Burton won 2 nights ago at Texas. The 2 drivers that will advance on points will be Austin Cindric and Michael Annett, both by about 30-plus points on Noah Gragson. Ross Chastain was in a must-win situation. He finishes in 7th. Chase Briscoe came into the night 21 points below the playoff cut line, but he scored very few stage points as he lost points tonight and actually will be 6th behind even Gragson at the end of the night as far as the point standings go into Phoenix next week. Justin Allgaier also going into the final stage was in a must-win situation, and he unfortunately finished 13th, 1 lap down, so his championship hopes will come to an end. So 4 drivers, Dale Jr., Harrison Burton, Austin Cindric, and Michael Annett will all be going for the Xfinity Series Championship next week. I believe that race will be on Tuesday. What I'm planning for the Championship 4 is Monday night doing the truck race at 8 o'clock, Tuesday night doing the Xfinity race at 8 o'clock, and then Wednesday night doing the Cup race at 7. is probably what I'm planning on doing as far as NASCAR Heat 5 and the championship races go next week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which works perfectly because I don't work Thursday starting next week with my new job, so I don't care how late that cup race goes. But we'll start it at 7, a reasonable time, though, as well. And then again, 8 o'clock Monday and Tuesday for the truck and the Xfinity race in that order. NASCAR Thunder 04 returns to the channel tomorrow. Full race live stream with a realistic broadcast as always. We do these every day on top of other related NASCAR content, so hit that subscribe button down below if you're a NASCAR fan, you enjoy video games. NASCAR video games is the place to be as I further my broadcasting abilities and hopefully one day living my dream of becoming an actual broadcaster in the NASCAR realms for real races. So definitely follow me on that journey. I think it's going to be fun. It's been a good opening year of the channel up to this point. I've gotten a lot of support from you guys, to say the least. So I appreciate it as always right there. Don't have a super chat available because I'm not at 1,000 subscribers. Therefore, I'm not monetized. So if you do want to support me, $3 a month on Patreon is really the only way to do so. I started that up about a month and a half ago. So if you obviously donations as always, but because we don't have a super chat available, that is why we have that. And you can follow me on Instagram. That is in the description as well. Keegan Schneider _YT. And I think that's going to be it here for tonight. Great support that you guys showed throughout the course of this race. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, though. Again, like, share, but most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Richmond will be the NASCAR Thunder 04 race, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow as well. I definitely have to give myself some practice. Again, the analog stick feels a little touchy on the PS2 right now with the new controller because I think I was having to overcorrect the car. So now I'm, like, overturning the car in the corners, at least when I was practicing for about a half hour today to try and get used to it. So I'm going to try to give myself like an hour of practice before I actually start tomorrow because I'm going to need it. And I get off of work somewhat earlier tomorrow too. It's my last day at this place. So, all right. That's enough of that. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you tomorrow night at 6. So long.